Lucasfilm Entertainment has announced 3 more upcoming Star Wars video games, and most of them sound pretty cool. Some of them sound pretty interesting, and has a lot of potential for a revival of a series that I'm pretty much looking forward to, very much looking forward to. And I figured it's a good opportunity to go through all the upcoming Star Wars video games and take a look at something that could have been. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
So, like I said, 3 upcoming Star Wars video games have been announced, but that doesn't mean that those are the only ones that are coming out. No, actually, there's a lot of plans in the Star Wars video game universe, which is actually pretty good, because honestly, overall, I think the record for the Star Wars video games, I think it evens out. They've had some stinkers. They've had some really good ones. And the ones that have been really good have been great. Fantastic. So it's got a lot of potential. Honestly, Star Wars have done... The best part of Star Wars has been outside of the movies. Anything that's not the movies is actually pretty good. The books have been pretty good. The video games have been pretty good. And so it's like all the comic books have been pretty good. So every single thing that's outside of the movies, of the movies, they've done a pretty good job with. I don't know what the hell is happening with the movies or what happened with the movies, but I like all the other stuff, so I'm excited for this. They actually have really, like, it's a universe that they can exploit and do a lot of interesting stuff with. Like, you can have like what was it, like Rogue Fighter? No, it was the one that you fought in, like, it's a starship. I forget the name. Whatever, doesn't matter. You got Battlefront, which is a very fun strategy shooter game. So let's just say there's a lot of potential in this particular franchise for interesting stuff. And before I get into all that stuff, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Super Dario World on YouTube and on Twitch. I'm probably gonna be streaming tomorrow, maybe. I don't know, because listen, I have to go to the doctor. I'm not sure what time I'll be able to go, but we'll see. We'll see. Eventually, I'll start doing streaming again. We'll see how it goes. If not, you can, if you can't join me on the stream whenever it is that I do it, you can always follow me on Instagram at Super Dario World and at DarioSDW. You can send me comments, questions, or suggestions there. Like, follow, subscribe. I really appreciate it. It really helps me out. Let's get into it. Let's get into the Star Wars. So like I said, Star Wars is an interesting franchise because it's actually done a lot of really good stuff in terms of the expanded universe, and particularly in the video game realm. Like, if I look back, there's pretty much in every single genre, there's a Star Wars video game that I love. So if you go for the shooters, you know, you got Battleground in there. If you go for the strategy ones, there's Galactic Battlegrounds. So there's open world or there's RPG ones. So they've done a lot of really interesting stuff, you know, Knights of the Old Republic and all that stuff. So they've officially announced 3 more games, and I'm just gonna go through every single one that they have already currently in the slate. But before I get into it, let's take a quick look at a leak that we have from 1313 or 1313, Star Wars 1313. It was a video game that was canceled. So we got leaked footage of a Star Wars video game that got canceled, and we saw a little bit of gameplay that featured Boba Fett. Now, this is one of the tragic games that got lost after the acquisition of Lucasfilms or LucasArts by Disney, and everybody was looking forward to this one, but unfortunately died along with the acquisition, so we never got to see it. And so over the years, we've gotten a little bit of leaks from it. You know, we see a little bit of gameplay, and this year the leak that we got was Boba Fett gameplay, and I gotta tell you, the game looks interesting. You get to see Boba Fett walking around, and like, I'll show you here, like full screen. Like, you get to see Boba Fett walk around Coruscant doing stuff like this. It's funny because to me it reminds me of Mass Effect and kind of like Uncharted. Like if they had a baby, I guess the setting feels more like that. And here you can see, like, it doesn't look the same, but whatever. This is more how you get the feel of the video game, and it leaves you like, man, this has potential. And also, it's like, if you guys remember my last breakdown of the last episode of Boba Fett, you're like, is this what they want to do? Is this what they want Star Wars to be? Do they want it to be this? Do they want it to be Mass Effect? And were they making a Mass Effect-esque style video game? I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea of it, because again, it's a great universe that they have not exploited as much. But alas, it was never made. It died a horrible death a few years ago. So unfortunately, we're never gonna get to see it. Maybe we'll get a few more leaks next year. But there you go. So next, let's go into the games that are confirmed, that are actually being worked on by somebody somewhere that's getting paid too much money. So First off, we got Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. So I'm assuming this is going to take all the movies, all the number movies, and supposedly it's going to be released in 2022. Now, supposedly it was going to be April 5th, 2022, but who knows? Honestly, the Lego games have not been terrible. I'll tell you what, like, they haven't been terrible. I haven't played every single Lego game, but I played like the DC villain ones. It was good. It was good. So Lego, it's simple, and simplicity sometimes is a great asset. So that's one. If you're looking forward to it, like I said, it's coming out this year. Let me just switch this out here. It's coming out later on. Next, we have Star Wars Hunters mobile release, and this one was pushed. Actually, it was actually pushed back to 2022, and so it was announced earlier last year and was originally expected sometime last year, but it was pushed back. And basically, let me just read this here. There has not so far an official word, blah, blah, blah. Release date: Hunters is an arena fighter coming to Nintendo Switch and mobile devices, and it will pit players against each other in teams comprised of a variety of characters: Wookiees, Jawas, droids, stormtroopers, and even a new dark side user named Reeve are slated to be included as playable characters. The gameplay appears to take inspiration from hero shooters, though lightsaber wielders will bring a decent amount of melee combat to the game, which is set in universe as some sort of spectated gladiatorial competition. So basically, it's a battle royal. It sounds to me like a battle royal, maybe like a team battle royal, but with Star Wars characters in it. It could be fun. The one massive knock that I put on this is the mobile thing. How good is it really going to be? But I'll tell you something. Technology is moving pretty well. Like, it's not that bad. Like, you can play, like, with the Game Pass, you can play Game Pass games. Like, you play Halo Infinite on a tablet or on your phone, and it's pretty much the same quality, just as long as you use the remote. So, okay, technology's getting there. Just I'm immediately irked. It sounds like an interesting idea. It sounds like, like a fun way to waste your time. Just, I hate the mobile part of it, but whatever. It could be good. It could be good. Next, this one is kind of a shocker here, because this one's actually, I think it's going to be delayed. So the next we got is Star Wars Eclipse. Now, this was like a massive announcement for the Game Awards in 2021. Everyone's like, oh shit, what is this? It looks weird. It looks nothing really like Star Wars, but it says Star Wars, and it's going to be the first game set in the High Republic era, which is basically like the golden age of the Jedi and all that stuff. Here we go. Which is a period of prosperity for the Galactic Republic decades prior to the events of the Phantom Menace. Very little known about the game itself, since it's expected to be released for a few more years. Yes, it's being developed by Quantum Dream, and I gotta tell you, from what I've read, rumors are saying that this game is like 4 or 5, 6 years away, and it's mainly because, well, the studio can't get anybody to work on the game. Which is wild. That's the rumor. According to rumors, Quantum Dream has been marred with controversy over a bunch of stuff. Honestly, like, I don't really follow that stuff. I haven't followed the Gamergate stuff and any of that like too closely. But it's been criticized by racism, by sexism, by all this stuff. And so they're having issues hiring people. And since they can't hire people, they can't get games out, which is really weird. I mean, you'd think that Disney's giving them a lot of money, and still, like, people must be really pissed, or they must really hate it there. If they're like, man, I don't want money, I don't want to work in a Star Wars game if it means working for those a-holes. So, I mean, the teaser's been released, but the way this sounds, I don't think it's gonna be finished by this particular studio. Like, honestly, if I'm Disney, I'd be like, fuck you guys, you're just making me waste money. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if it actually gets finished, because it looks interesting, and the premise is interesting. It's a different era of the Star Wars universe that we really haven't explored as much. So we'll see. Next, we have the remake of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. It doesn't have a release date yet, so we don't really know what to expect it, but it's interesting. I mean, like I said, Knights of the Old Republic. It's an old game. Like, if you look at it, if you play it, it looks old. It's still probably a lot of fun. I haven't really gone back to it, but it's considered one of the best RPGs ever. Like, ever. Like I said, Star Wars has an interesting track record when it comes to video games, because it does have this particular franchise considered to be one of the greatest RPGs of all time. It's set into a very interesting part of the Star Wars universe, and so here you go. There's only a teaser. There's been a teaser for the remake featuring Darth Revan igniting a red lightsaber has been released, and that's pretty much it. So there you go. It's being developed by BioWare, which is I mean, I like BioWare mostly for all the stuff that they made. And it's supposed to be coming out. I'm assuming it's going to be continuing just going out for the Xbox and PC, because this one was not a PlayStation one. So who knows what's going to happen? But it's been in development for a while, and supposedly we're going to get an announcement pretty soon, because it was announced on the showcase in September 2021. And by the way, I was wrong. I just read this. It probably will come out for the PlayStation, because it was announced at Sony PlayStation Showcase in September 2021. So there you go. Kind of in a similar vein, there's supposedly more video games based off on the universe of the Knights of the Old Republic. So there's a rumor saying that now new games are coming out. So you got the remake. That's confirmed. The remake's coming for sure. But there's a bunch of rumors of games set in the same universe that should be coming out. So in addition to the remake of the original, we are supposed to be getting more. Now, is it going to be just games set in the same universe, or is it going to be a sequel, or who knows? But right now, it seems unlikely that a remake of Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords, would get a green light, because the other one hasn't come out yet. So after the first one comes out, maybe. But right now, it looks like it's probably going to be something completely new, which could be fun. Like I said, considered one of the greatest RPGs of all time, beloved by fans. So we'll see how that goes. Next, Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order 2 has been announced. When will it come out? Who knows? They say that maybe it could even come out later on this year. Like, honestly, that's wild, because apparently they've been working on it for a year. It's being developed by Respawn Studios, I think that's what their name, Respawn, whatever. And they've been working on it for a few years, and so it looks like it's gonna be coming. The first one was very successful. They sold like 10 million copies. I have it. It's fun. It's a fun video game. A lot of people are calling it like Star Wars Demon Souls. It's not. It's a hard Star Wars game. I'll give you that. And it is a kind of like a third-person Metroidvania type of game. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's very enjoyable. It's well made. It's fun. And it came out right when the pandemic started, so I think it got very lucky there. So it's fun. I recommend it. The main character, Cal, he's played by the kid who played the Joker in Gotham, who's did a really good job. He was also like one of the like the gay son from Shameless. He's a good actor. He does a good job, and the character's likable enough. The universe is very interesting, and like you're taking on massive enemies with a freaking lightsaber. It's awesome. I recommend it. It's an enjoyable experience. It's been, like I said, supposedly it'll launch either the end of this year or 2023. We'll see how that goes. It's exciting stuff, though. I'll probably get it. It's, you know what? I didn't finish the first Jedi Fallen Order. It's right now in the pantheon of, you know how you get older and you just don't have time to play video games. It's like I Ghost of Tsushima, loved it. I haven't finished it. I'm like 3/4 in. The Jedi Fallen Order, loved it. 3/4 in. It's one of those things that just drives me nuts. Like I have all those unfinished stories there that I gotta go back to. I gotta go back and finish. Next. But this is the Ubisoft project that's been in development forever. So there's a project, for those of you who don't know who Ubisoft is, there's a developer. You might know them from games that, well, actually, the biggest title that they have right now is Frontiers of Pandora, and that one I'm actually pretty interested on, which is supposed to be coming out this year, but I guess that has nothing to do with Star Wars, except that it's also a Disney property. Whatever. It's not much is known about this video game, just that it's being developed by Ubisoft. And so it doesn't have a known title. The development is being made by a subsidiary called Massive Entertainment. And, you know, the subsidiary has made Tom Clancy the Division game. So we'll see how it goes. Honestly, it's not, I don't know what to expect. Ubisoft, I'm torn about them. I'm torn about their work sometimes. Torn about their financial practices at time and what they do to customers. But if the game is good, the game's good. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm gonna give Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora a shot because I'm pretty big on that franchise. I'm pretty excited about that franchise. Next, we have another Respawn project. So Respawn has 3 projects. Already mentioned Jedi Fallen Order. I already mentioned Jedi Fallen Order 2, which should be epic. Next, we have this is going to be a strategy game, the Respawn strategy game. Now it doesn't have a name, and this is pretty exciting. Because one of my favorite strategy games of all time was Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. Love this video game. Loved it. It was fantastic. It was basically imagine Age of Empires, but with Star Wars characters. Loved it, especially when you got the expansion. And it was actually you got to go through all the Clone Wars, and you get to go through all the other like the original movies. Fantastic. You get to use droidicas against Wookiees. It's phenomenal. Love it. It's a fantastic game. Really enjoyable experience. If they do something like this, I'm all in. And like I said, it's one of those things that the Star Wars universe has a lot of potential, and they've done a lot of great stuff with it. This is an example of it. Awesome strategy game. I actually have it. I think I got it on Steam. I'll probably replay it again because I love it. It was fantastically made. It's really enjoyable. It's really fun. And so if they do something like this again, a strategy game, are you kidding me? In the Star Wars universe, fantastic. You get to coordinate. You finally get to put in military strategy into Star Wars. Finally, military tactics. Finally, like all the fucking bullshit that you see in the movies. No, you finally actually get to put some logic in there and kick ass. Fucking kidding me? It's awesome. It's epic. Really enjoyable. So, very much looking forward to this one. I'm looking forward to hearing more from it because it could be shit, and I've been hurt before. You're right. My sad little heart has been broken too many times by this franchise and by the video game world in general. But right now, it looks interesting. Supposedly, they're saying it could be something in the realms of the XCOM series. Now, I don't particularly love that franchise. I don't particularly hate it. I'll test it out. I'll try it. XCOM is actually like a hard strategy game. So we'll see. Next, the final thing from Respawn Studios, and the final thing in the Star Wars bracket, what do you call it? Like in the calendar is, again, by the way, this one still a few years away. Another one that's also a few years away is another Respawn title, and this one supposedly is going to be a first-person shooter. Now, this one I am massively excited for. Massively excited for. Why? Because there's the potential, and there's the possibility, and there's the hope that it could be the sequel to Star Wars Republic Commando, one of my favorite video games of all time, which I don't know why the fuck they haven't continued. I've talked about this video game for years. I've recommended it to everybody, anybody who has ever asked for a first-person shooter, anybody who's ever asked for a Star Wars game. I recommend this game. It's phenomenal. It's got the best AI I've ever played in any franchise. Best AI. It's phenomenal. The story was also pretty good. You're basically like a elite clone trooper in the middle of the Clone Wars. It's epic. It's awesome. The co-op, the collaboration with the characters and the AI is phenomenal. It is fantastic. It's a fantastic game. I don't know why there's not a sequel. I don't know why they don't like money. Because every single person that I've talked to that's played this game loves it. Every single person that I've talked to wants to play the sequel. I don't understand. Was it not successful? I don't know. Maybe. It's possible. But is it possible that Respawn's new first-person shooter game is a sequel to this one? Maybe. Is it likely? Probably not, because that's just my kind of luck. That's been my luck with these Star Wars video games. I don't know why. It's a phenomenal fucking franchise. Just do something with it. Now, there's a whole bunch of rumors and stuff of why it didn't get made or whatever, because, the developers who made the AI actually got hired by the military to make other stuff, that actually could work in the real, because the AI that they made is so good. All right, fine, whatever. I believe it because the game's just that good. It's just sad because I want to play the game. And it's replayable. It came out for the Switch, like a remake. I recommend it. Test it out. Play it. You'll be like, holy shit, where's the sequel to this? It's phenomenal. So you got Jedi Fallen Order 2 by Respawn, which looks pretty good. You got an RPG. You got a strategy game, which has the potential of being. Am I a nostalgia freak? Maybe. I don't know. It was just a good game, which has the potential of being like Galactic Battlegrounds, or maybe even, like Battlefront. Imagine Battlefront, but you actually get to command the troops a little bit more. Not just like being wild and thrown in there. Like the original Battlefront, you actually got to take a little bit more of control. You actually had to plan where you attacked. It was slight, but imagine that, but more of it. That'd be cool. Finally, the possibility of Star Wars Republic Commando coming out, like the sequel, finally, because it ends at a cliffhanger. Yes, 1,000 times yes. Please, Disney, come on, man. Please, we've been waiting too long, and I'll give you the money. I'll throw money at you. Just please. Anyway, so that's the news. Those are the movies. Those are the video games that we are expecting. I can go through a remote. You know what? Fuck it. I won't. But the point is, back to my original point about Star Wars. If you go through that list, if you paid attention, there's a lot of very good franchises in there. They're missing like a good racing game, but overall everything else, it's a very, very well used in the terms of video games franchise. Hey, you remember Boba Fett, the Bounty Hunter? That was pretty good. You got, again, I already mentioned, strategy game. Those Galactic Battlegrounds, pretty good, solid. Republic Commando, probably the best AI I've ever had in a video game. Probably the best first-person shooter out there. Maybe. Arguably, it depends if it's your style game. So I don't know why they don't exploit it more, but it sounds like, they will. It sounds like they're finally figuring out that, hey, people like hanging out in the Star Wars universe, and it's a universe that we can exploit for a lot of stuff because it's really big. And we can just, come up with a whole bunch of bullshit to explain it. So we'll see how that goes. Honestly, I'm excited. I'm waiting for a Mandalorian game. That could be fun. Like, imagine Bounty Hunter 2, but you're actually playing as Mando. That'd be cool. Maybe something where you're a Wookiee. Imagine like a jungle game and you're just Chewbacca trying to survive, like something. I don't know. Maybe that'd be too weird. Maybe leave Chewbacca where he is. Maybe, I don't know. Him as a pilot, co-pilot, I guess. Technically, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That's a good place to stop, though. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions? Well, I forgot to put the music on. Any comments, questions, or suggestions? Like I said, you can find me at Super Dario World on YouTube and on Twitch, streaming someday. Honestly, I don't know. It's been a tricky week. Basically, I can tell you a little bit. I started a new job, and a really good new job. I'm very excited about this one. I'm returning to the movie industry. I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited for the future. Very excited for the potential that it brings and how it's opening up other opportunities. Unfortunately, I'm in training right now, and the training schedule kind of sucks, and it's kind of in flux. So 1 week's one thing, next week's another thing. So it's a pain in the ass, but whatever. It's worth it. So if you want to send me any comments, questions, or suggestions, right now the easiest way for you to contact me, it's Instagram. So at Super Dario World and at Dario'sDW. As always, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.